What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Sparrow in the safe lane. As always, let's go over the deck. Now, I have Improved Killing Blows, Ruthless, Multi-Shot, Piercing Basic, Critical Hits, and Healing Towers for my gems. Now, for my cards, I have Cull the Weak, Exoskeleton, Growth Totem, Guard Piercer, Swamp Stalker, Swift Hunter, Wound Seeker, Trapper, One of the Tribe, and lastly, Vampiric Blade. Now, one thing with the ADCs is I've always kind of built that Chaos build, you know, that high damage Chaos build, maybe with Vampiric Blade, but, you know, after doing all the tests that I've done, I kind of just stuck with that, so I wanted to test out Growth, which Growth has some amazing cards for your ADC. You know, One of the Tribe is just an absolute amazing card, and I should definitely compare Growth to Chaos. I just haven't really got around to doing that yet. You know, there's been so many moving parts within Paragon lately, and, you know, I've just really kind of focused on other heroes, and of course, I'm not the best ADC out there. But I decided to go into this Growth deck and really see what's going on. Now, Vampiric Blade is about equal to a 12-point Growth Totem. So if you get on Growth Totem, let's say at 10 minutes, at 22 minutes, that's where Vampiric Blade is, and that's going to be the last card I actually go for. So once you kind of pass up that 12 minutes, all you're doing is getting the lifesteal, which, you know, the lifesteal is absolutely amazing, and you're also getting that small boost in attack speed. But if you can't put on Growth, or if you can't put on that Vampiric Blade till, let's say, 20 minutes, you actually get quite a bit more power and a little bit more health. But again, you do miss out on that 10% lifesteal. So me having multi-shot in this deck, you know, I'm really not going to have any sustain. But let's definitely wait and see if we're actually able to make that transition. Now, I am in comms with our Aurora, so, you know, me and her make some really good plays together, and we are kind of able to work out. If you do want to play with me or would like to find a group of people to play with, think about joining our Discord. There's usually people in it, and, you know, it's always just fun to have people to play with. So that's the link. There's also a link in the description. You know, if you feel like playing with us, hey, join in. But we are here in this safe lane, you know, doing the typical safe lane stuff. Again, I'm not the best ADC, so, you know, I'm not getting my last hits like I really should. But no problem. With Cull the Weak, it really helps out having that, you know, easy sustain for getting those last hits. Now, I do pick up gold, and I tell Aurora, hey, you farm those last two. I don't want to, you know, lose any farm there, but I'll get gold since it's probably worth a little bit more experience, and she can take out those minions, no problem at all. Now, I've never really played just a whole lot of Sparrow. You know, she's a great ADC, and you can really utilize her kit to do tons and tons of damage. That Hail of Arrows, or Rain of Arrows, whatever it's called, you know, that stacking that passive where you're able to just poke and get tons and tons of damage on, you know, that feels very, very solid. And, you know, that's great. I really like that. I just, you know, I don't typically play a whole lot of Sparrow. Now, this Greystone stayed in because Grux was rotating, but, you know, he probably really should have got out. And, you know, hey, that's great for us. We didn't end up getting that kill. Aurora actually secured that kill, but getting an assist is great. And, you know, sure enough, we're still just going on and getting our farm. Now, we do have to be careful of Grux, because he does have enough mana for, you know, maybe a pull. So, just kind of playing a little bit cautiously, that's no problem at all. You can see I'm missing shots. I'm so bad with ADC. And, you know, I didn't do a warm-up game either. This is just the first game of the day, and, you know, first game with ADC in a while, so no problem. Now, I did use that Rain of Arrows just to try to zone one of the heroes out. And if they did charge, I would have my passive stacks up to where I could really crank some damage out. And, you know, I don't know if it actually helped, but Grux did back off, so that's great. Now, the first real card that I can pick up is Guard Piercer, so there's really no reason for me to head back until I actually have at least 5 points, and I would really like 6 points so I could keep Cole the Weak on. And so, hey, I am, not quite as healthy as always, but no problem. Just play a little more cautiously, keep my farm up. It's very important to get farm, not only as the ADC, but because I don't have access to those 3-point cards. I definitely need to get enough farm to put on that Guard Piercer so we can really put some pressure on this tower. Now, we do end up pushing into the tower here at this next wave, and I kind of want to talk about Aurora going in. Now, Aurora's going to do a little more damage than your typical support would, but you can see as soon as she leaves my side, Greystone goes in on me, and he's able to do a lot of damage to me. So, as your support, especially a melee support, it's not always best to go into tower at these early stages of the game because, yeah, the offlaner can just go after your ADC, and this takes me out from doing damage to the tower, which I'm going to hit the tower for a lot harder than she would, as well as, it's going to force me out of lane, which I probably could have stayed in lane a little longer, but it was really no problem. I had my 6 points. I was going to go back, put on that Guard Piercer anyways, but you can see I was really forced out of that position, out of that damage, because Aurora did leave my side. If she would have stayed with me, I could have just steadily poked the tower, and Greystone probably would have left me alone. Now, from here, I'm just going to speed it up. We do our typical lane pushing. We're still in the laning phase, so we're going to push the wave, get a little damage on the tower. I really hate how those minions, they seem to backstep right before they go into the core, so I constantly go in and get hit by the tower. I don't know why that happens. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's just something that we're going to have to get used to, but yeah, it is really annoying. So, no problem. Now, Grux did head in, and Aurora is able to get her ult off, and this allows me to, kind of pair up with her ultimate. I do narrowly miss that Grux ultimate. We are able to get just a ton of damage on this Greystone, but unfortunately, he does get out. I was really hoping to take him out, but no problem. And Grux ends up getting out as well, but that's completely okay. We should force that Greystone out of lane. This is also going to allow me to back, and you can see I am able to pick up my Growth Totem. So I go ahead, switch to that Swift Hunter, throw on my Growth Totem, and, start really stacking that Growth Totem up. So at about, 8 minutes and 45 seconds, I've got my Growth Totem on, which is nice. I did pay for it, but that 500 gold was definitely worth that, health and power boost. And I didn't really have anything else I could buy at that point, and it might be a while before I, actually head back to tower. So I'm real happy with that decision, and, Growth Totem, since it is kind of a free card, it costs 500 in this case, but since it is a relatively cheap card, why not throw it on? Now, from here, we actually make our final push to this tower, but, we gotta play a little safe. Aurora did have to head back, so, I'm just gonna slowly farm, wait till she shows up, and then, we can really get in there and take that tower down. I did misclick that, piercing shot whenever I was trying to actually upgrade it, but no problem. And you can see we're trying to do a little work on this Greystone. We are getting some damage on him. He does not have his ultimate at the moment, so you can see he's just getting out. And from here, I'm going to allow him to push the lane back to me. I'm just going to kind of hang out with gold buff, wait for it to spawn up, and from here I tell Aurora, hey, why don't you go help out another lane? I'm just going to play real safe, get my farm, and rotate whenever I need to. Now, once we do actually kind of get this lane pushing against the enemy, I'm going to head to mid. You can see we've had a massive rotation to our off lane, so mid is just kind of open right now, and we need to get over there, either get some vision, or we might have to collapse for a fight. I go ahead and tell our Aurora, hey, Gadget's heading over there, I'm trying to figure out how to actually say it, and then I finally, do. But with that gadget rotating over, you know, we got to play a little more careful. I am able to farm up this mid lane, and then I kind of start heading that way. Gadget does show up, so I definitely want to get back. You can see the amount of damage she's able to do, and at this point, I'm just not going to mess with her. I'm going to head back to my lane. Maybe I can get this Greystone off the tower. You know, with having such a massive rotation to that off lane, and me trying to cover both lanes, you know, we are going to get some tower damage somewheres, but it's no big deal. I am able to keep, you know, for the most part, a lot of this damage off of the tower, and, you know, that's actually great. That's what we want. I do end up focusing that siege minion last, just because I was worried about Greystone heading over to me, and the other minions were closer. But no problem, we did take a little bit of tower damage, but it's very, very minor, and hopefully we can, you know, keep up this good farm that we have going. Now I do end up pushing that lane again, and from here I'm going to head to mid, because, you know, there's something going down in mid, and I definitely want to be there. This gadget, you know, I knew I wouldn't be able to take her out. I'm still not just crazy powerful at the moment, but, you know, the time is coming, so I was just really kind of trying to get that gadget out, you know, especially without her having any mana. You know, she's just going to run away. Now, our Grux does kind of head in, you know, make a play on that Aurora. If I would have seen, you know, what was going on, I probably would have headed over there and, you know, tried to assist, but no problem. Now from here, you can see Greystone is pushing our tower again, and Aurora's heading over there to deal with that. So I'm going to stay in mid lane and try to get some massive pressure up. Now I did end up getting that piercing shot on Aurora, and that allowed Sevarog to secure that kill, which is, you know, absolutely amazing. We did take that bomb hit from Gadget. You know, we kind of just had a little bit of a misplay with that Grux getting stuck, but no problem. We can still hopefully keep up this massive amount of pressure. I did try to get my piercing shot on that Aurora, but Morgesh killed her beforehand. No problem at all. Now, Revenant does ult me, and he might be able to take me. You know, I am getting a little bit low, so I'm just going to turn and run. But I don't want to completely leave the fight because, you know, hey, our team is still there, and I'm going to do everything that I can to, you know, actually kill heroes. That's my job. So we end up getting a good chunk of damage on that Revenant, but hey, we really need to get out. Unfortunately, you know, that didn't happen. I really thought that was our Aurora's ultimate that went off. That's why I started heading up there. But, you know, having those two Auroras, it can get confusing. But no problem. We end up surviving that, and that's, you know, that's completely great. We ended up taking down that tier 1 and got a couple of kills with our team surviving. So we're off to a really, really good start. I'm going to head back to my safe lane, farm it up. I am fairly low, so I need to be careful. And I know Aurora just used her ultimate, so she doesn't have a whole lot for me or, you know, to counter me. So I'm going to just try to get these minions and then, you know, kind of push her back and then head back to base. I did get 7 points, so, you know, I'm going to be able to pick up that Swamp Stalker or maybe even Heavy Hitter. Now, from here, I end up actually picking up Swamp Stalker, which, you know, I should have picked up Heavy Hitter. You know, I don't know what I was thinking. But no problem. I am alone quite a bit right now because Aurora has been rotating to help out the team, so that's great. Now, Greystone does end up rotating, so I'm going to wait for gold. I end up grabbing gold, pushing this lane, and then I'm going to head to mid, because you can see we have a massive effort in that off lane position. I need to head over there to, you know, help out with what I can. Now, I decided to go in on this Revenant, and, you know, I should be able to take Revenant out. At this point, I'm probably more fed than he is, and you can see I'm absolutely doing tons of damage to him. Grux is there to help me secure that kill, and then I actually head over to deal with Greystone. Now, you know, Greystone stayed in just a little bit too long. We are able to get our piercing shot off. That really, you know, took out him where, you know, Aurora was able to escape. And then I'm just going to get him with another piercing shot. We end up actually securing that kill. So, you know, all in all, that was a great play. we had a great distraction on our side, you know, with that huge team fight, and me not just rushing over there right away. That allowed me to kind of clean up. As the ADC, that's really what you want to do. You want to head in and do tons of damage, but you want to wait until all the craziness of that initial fight is over. Those Aurora ults, you know, Steals, Richters, all that stuff. You want to avoid all their cooldowns. And the best way to do that is to not be there when they have them. So that's exactly what we do. Now I actually swap out my Swamp Stalker 4 Trapper. I'm a big fan of the Trapper card, and I haven't played with it just a whole ton, but it is a very solid card, and it feels very good on, you know, ranged heroes or ranged ADCs. We do end up losing our safe lane tower, but hey, that's no problem. That will free us up to rotate for longer, and, you know, we really are kind of out of that initial lane phase, so hey, no problem. From here, I'm going to push that lane and then head to mid. You know, we've got something going down in mid, and I definitely need to be there so, you know, we can either get kills or, you know, actually make things happen. Sure enough, we take out that gadget, and Greystone ends up getting away. I was guessing with the piercing shot, but, you know, no problem. And I'm just going to continue farming this mid lane. You know, I'm really still wanting to get fed. I want to try the in-game out on this deck. Every time I've played with a growth deck on an ADC, games have not really lasted long enough for me to put that one of the tribe on and really get that solid in-game that I'm going for. So I definitely want to keep my farm up so I can try this out. Now, I'm not trying to push at all. All of our team is far back, and I'm kind of here by myself, so I need to just kind of look around, try to get some farm. I end up heading over to our Severog. You know, he does end up going back, which, you know, hey, that's no problem. But I end up heading over to him because I want to be next to any type of hero. I don't want to be by myself, especially at this point in the match. You know, I'm still not just crazy with damage, but casters and things like that are starting to actually come online. So me being by myself is, you know, not really the best option. From here, I'm going to rotate over to our safe lane. You know, our safe lane is set against us, so I definitely need to clean that up. And with Grux heading over there, you know, great. I've got another hero to help me out, and, you know, again, I'm staying with my team. Even though my team's not staying with me, I'm staying with them. So you can use that to your advantage as the ADC. Now, from here, me and Grux, we end up pushing this lane. I was going, you know, hey, maybe we could actually push this lane all the way. And you see, there's Greystone here. Grux is kind of backing off, and we're going, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then I finally just say, you know what? I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm just going to get out. There's no reason in being that indecisive, and it's better to, you know, it's better served heading somewhere else. Now, we should be able to take out this Grux, but I need to wait for my team to engage, and I'm waiting for Aurora to kind of get some positioning. Grux ends up actually heading over there, and you can see we head down, and we're able to absolutely delete him. That Aurora ult kept him from getting away, and, you know, sure enough, he just gets absolutely erased. Now, from here, we end up making a play on this tier 2 in mid. And Gadget actually shows up, and you see she sticks this Grux right here. Now, we were trying to run away from Grux, and he was staying with us. And, you know, we end up taking a couple of tower hits because of that. And with that Seek and Destroy, you know, I had two options. I could take the Gadget hit, or I could take a couple of tower hits. And I'm guessing that Gadget's probably going to hit harder than the tower at the moment. Now, we end up just pushing up just a little bit too far. They have a great team collapse, and we actually go down. We do take Gadget with us, but, you know, it would have definitely been better to survive. Grux ends up going down as well, so it ends up being a 2-for-1 fight. We did take that Grux down earlier, but he's actually just spawned in. So, you know, all in all, it did not end up in the best fight, but we got a little bit of damage on that tier 2 in mid. So, hey, you know, it wasn't really worth, but we made the best out of a bad situation. Now, I did have enough farm to put on one of the tribes, so now I can save up 4 Vampiric Blade. And, you know, if I do actually need it, I can switch to it. Remember, I have an 8-minute growth totem. So right now, my growth totem has actually got more power and health than that Vampiric Blade would get me. Sure, I would have the lifesteal, but you know, I'm really not doing too horrible with sustain at the moment, so I am kind of going, hey, I'll put on lifesteal maybe later, but right now, it feels very solid, and once I get the farm, you know, I can make that decision then. Now, from here, we've got to kind of reassign our lanes because, you know, we did have a couple of deaths there, and they're going to push against us. Now, we had a big team effort in mid, and I tell Aurora, hey, you head mid, I'll keep this lane from coming into tower, and then I'm going to head mid. And you can see, you know, they're going in on our mid lane tower. I decide, hey, I'm going to take out minion waves, and I realize, hey, it's a lost cause. So I head in, try to take out this Greystone. Now, I end up using my ult, which I really should have went for my piercing basic, or my piercing shot, because I would have actually been able to kill him. You know, Rev is here, but you can see we absolutely delete him. Gadget shows up, and with this growth totem, one of the tribe and Trapper, you know, I'm actually a lot more tanky than, you know, I guess she was expecting. So, we actually, you know, lived through that gadget bomb, and we're able to turn it around and just absolutely delete her. I do need to get out at this point, so I'm going to head back to base. Now's a perfect time to push because, you know, we got their 2 damage dealers down, so it's a great time to push, but I can't push whenever I'm this unhealthy, especially without lifesteal. Once I top off, you know, at base, I'm going to head back into lane. You know, my team does a great job with that tier 2. They're able to take that down, so, you know, hey, just get out. I end up picking up the orange buff, and then I see Grux heading in. With my team heading back from taking out that tower, I know, you know, hey, we're going to have a collapse on him. We're going to take him out, and that's why I turned around and actually engaged that fight. Aurora does show up, and then, you know, she roots me and says, oh, I better get out. So she takes off, and from here, you know, I'm kind of looking, hey, where do I need to go? I want to stay with my team so I can take advantage of that one of the tribe. You know, with 4 of us here in mid, I'm going to be hitting like crazy. So I definitely want to hang out with my team, but we are kind of pushing unsafe. You know, we do have the advantage with their Grux being down, but we need to definitely play careful. Now, Aurora is invis, you know, we're in comms again, so she ends up ulting, but, you know, Revenant ults me and negates that. We're able to take him out, and, you know, from here, we're just making some really great plays. I love having an Aurora on a team. I don't know if I mentioned that. We take out this gadget as well. You know, Greystone is here, and I don't really want to go under tower with Greystone here, so I'm going to make sure we can take him out, and then from there, you know, it'll be a very short tower. I do throw down that rain of arrows when Greystone does ult. This allows me to get my stacks on him faster when he does spawn in, and you can see we absolutely erase him. Now we take down this mid inhib, and from here, you know, hey, prime time. You know, this is a perfect time to get prime. I'm going to clean this wave up so when they do spawn in, they actually have to deal with a minion wave. They can't just follow us. And, you know, from here, yeah, we got to go for prime. It's a perfect time. They've still got 3 or 4 heroes down. They are about to spawn in, but they're going to have to deal with the lanes being pushed. Now, from here, we do end up actually making a prime play once Sephiroth shows up. Their enemy team actually does come try to contest, but Aurora was able to zone them out, you know, and that's great. Now, their gadget is not running that stagnant domination, so, you know, we're able to run through her ultimate, and, you know, we are taking a little damage, but no big deal. I want to head up there because Grux did head in on that, and, you know, it is important to collapse when your front line is, you know, in that fight. We're able to take out that Greystone with that piercing shot, you know, oh, piercing shot's so nice. And Aurora, you know, I was saying, hey, you gotta jump down, we might be able to help, but, you know, it was too late. Gadget stuck her. We are able to take down their gadget. I get my piercing shot off on that Aurora, but, you know, she's pretty healthy, so it was no problem. But from here, we're just going to make a massive push. Now, you can see we have a massive team collapse to defend that lane, but I don't want to head over there. I want to push, and, you know, I'm pinging an attack left lane. Hopefully Sevarog will show up. You know, he's kind of doing jungle things right now, which that's not what we need. We need some lane presence, and with half of our team going to deal with the safe lane, the other half of us should push, you know, the off lane, because mid lane's set. You know, with those super minions, they're eventually going to have to deal with that as it is. Sevarog does, you know, head into their jungle. He was making an effort to come towards me, but he engages on Grux, which, you know, Prime is really the time you want to go for objectives. So, you know, I would like him to come to the lane. You know, we could down the tower, and you can see Grux is getting out. There's no reason for me to follow that. I'm going to continue on and take out this tower. Sevarog does knock Grux right into me, and that was, you know, that was absolutely amazing. He, you know, just set me up perfectly for that kill, and, man, props to him for that. We do actually make, you know, a pretty big effort right here. I did miss that piercing shot on Rev, but Sevarog was able to take that out. Now, I am not going into the fight because I want to take the tower out. You know, we can go into the fight after we get the tower. Getting into a fight at the point that our team was right there, you know, in my opinion, just really wasn't the best, but hey, it's no problem. It allowed me to take out that tower. I'm able to wrap up that gadget kill with that piercing shot again. Oh, man, I really love that. And, you know, we end up taking out this inhib as well. So we did lose our Grux, but, you know, no problem at all. Now, Aurora does show up, and, you know, we might be able to actually push the core, but with their team about to spawn in, you know, and they've got their Greystone and their Aurora up, I just don't really want to mess with that right now. You know, that could turn out really poorly, so I'm going to head over to our safe lane, help this Morgesh, you know, push this wave, and we're actually going to take out all their inhibs at this point. And, you know, it really is GG once all three inhibs are down. You know, we end up getting another kill, and, you know, that, hey, no problem. Right now, all the enemy team can do is, you know, really sacrifice themselves to try to do something, but the game is over, so you can't really count these last kills. But we had an amazing game with Sparrow, and, you know, this deck is very, very solid. So if you are tired of playing just that normal Chaos build, you know, try this out. This is a great build. It's really fun. You know, being able to slow enemies when you're hitting them, that just feels absolutely amazing. You know, you're kind of almost getting that Grim ability when you put on Trapper. And playing with one of the tribe, you know, when you've got your support next to you, you just crank out so much damage. And it, like I said, it's an absolute blast. And it's a change up from the normal. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and if you did enjoy, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it yet. I love playing with y'all guys, and it's really cool to put y'all in videos. You know, I know a lot of y'all enjoy seeing my perspective of how y'all play, so definitely join our Discord, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.